Welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. Think of me as your personal financial mentor, and we're going to spend this session coaching you right through the traps that keep so many people totally broke. You know, every single day, millions of people wake up early, commute to a job, and trade their time, their energy, and essentially their life, all for one thing: money. But here's the harsh truth. If you're trading your life energy for money that instantly vanishes the moment it hits your bank account, you've got to realize you are just existing. You're not living. Well, today, we are going to completely change that. Okay, let me ask you a tough question right out of the gate, and I want you to be really honest with yourself. Why do you work all month, wait so patiently for that paycheck, only to watch it completely drain away in a matter of days? Right? You pay your rent, maybe a car loan, you buy groceries, you cover the basics, and then suddenly, boom, you are forced to wait another 30 long days just to survive again. This is the painful reality of living paycheck to paycheck. It's like you're essentially running on a giant wheel that never ever stops, just hoping that somehow, someday, things will magically get easier.
Now here is where the real coaching begins. Most people mistakenly think the answer to their financial struggle is simply earning a bigger salary. They tell themselves, man, if I just work harder and earn a little more, I'll finally be free. But I need you to understand this fundamental truth. Money is not your problem. Your relationship with money is. A bigger salary alone is absolutely not going to save you. Look around. There are people working 12 hours a day who are making six figures and are still drowning in bills. It's your mindset and your fundamental relationship with money that literally has to change if you want true freedom.
Before you can escape a trap, you obviously have to first realize you're inside one. You are trapped in what author Robert Kiyosaki famously calls the rat race. Let's imagine a guy named John. John earns, let's say, $3,000 a month. Because he works hard, John gets a promotion and now he's earning $4,000 a month. Awesome, right? But what does John do? Instead of saving or investing that extra grand, he goes out and buys a bigger house, a better car, and way more expensive clothes. His expenses grow at the exact same speed as his income. He's making more money, sure, but he is still just as trapped. Earning more just led to spending more.
All right, moving on to section 1, the emotion of spending. Let's dive into why we actually buy things.
So people really love to believe that their money decisions are entirely logical. But in reality, they are deeply, deeply emotional. Most people stay broke because they spend money based purely on feelings. If they feel stressed, they spend. If they feel happy, they spend. Consider the stark contrast between two completely different mindsets we see all the time. On one hand, you have person A, the consumer. They desperately want to show everyone their status, so they buy luxury items on credit just to impress people who honestly do not care. They might look rich on the outside, but inside, they are stressed to the max, constantly waiting for that next paycheck. Now compare that to person B, the investor. This person has a true wealthy mindset. They live simply. They really don't care what the neighbors think about their plain clothes or their older car. They save, they invest quietly, and they buy back their time and their freedom, step by careful step.
I want you to remember this key piece of wisdom, maybe even write it down. Real wealth is quiet. It doesn't need attention, and it certainly doesn't need to show off. When you spend your hard-earned money just to get a little hit of approval from the world, you are literally destroying your own future. Building a deeply secure life, maintaining your freedom, and actually keeping your money is so much more impressive than maintaining a loud, fake, and frankly exhausting image of wealth. You've got to learn to control your desires and delay your pleasure.
Okay, that brings us to section 2, assets versus liabilities. This is a game changer. If you take only one single lesson away from my coaching today, it has to be this. You must understand exactly what an asset is. Let's keep it incredibly simple. An asset is something that puts money into your pocket even when you are not working, right? An asset is your ultimate goal. Imagine you manage to save $10,000 and you use it to buy a small piece of land, or maybe invest in a steady business. Over time, that investment grows, and it pays you a return every single month. It works tirelessly, almost like a little employee, to multiply your wealth and put money in your pocket while you're literally sleeping. Now, on the other hand, a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. The whole money game is honestly this simple. Rich people buy assets, while average people buy liabilities, but they mistakenly think they're buying assets. Take that exact same $10,000. If a young man takes that cash and uses it as a down payment for a brand new car, he feels amazing. He feels proud. But that car needs fuel, it needs maintenance, it needs insurance, and it loses value every single day it sits in the driveway.
That car is heavily disguised as a lifestyle upgrade, but make no mistake, it is constantly bleeding money right out of his pocket. Let's actually look around your own life right now so we can clearly categorize things. Think about common liabilities, those brand new cars we just talked about, the absolute latest smartphones you just had to upgrade to, those insanely expensive designer shoes. Every single one of these is constantly taking money out of your pocket. Now consider true assets, things like a side business, stocks and investments, or even educational books that teach you new, high-value skills. These things put money back in. From this point forward, every single time you earn money and go to spend it, you must pause and ask yourself, is this purchase making me richer or is it making me poorer?
Which leads perfectly into Section 3, Consumer versus Investor. Let's shift your mindset.
Right now, as a consumer, you're essentially selling your time for basic survival. But if we want to escape that rat race, we need to completely rewire your behavior so you start buying time as an investor. See, active income is what most of us start with, right? Working a 9-to-5 job or doing freelance gigs. But the problem is, active income is strictly limited by the 24 hours in your day, your physical energy, and your limited time. The second you stop working, the money completely stops. Passive income, however, is a whole different ballgame. It means doing the work once so the money flows to you continuously. With passive income, your earnings aren't chained to the hours you work. The money itself actually becomes a dedicated employee working tirelessly on your behalf.
So, how do we get there? Section 4, Building Passive Income. To actually build that passive income and get completely 100% free, the smartest strategy is to use your active income to systematically build your passive income streams. Think of it as a funnel. You earn actively, you save a dedicated portion, and you invest that saved money into assets until your passive income eventually becomes greater than your active income. Now, I know what you might be thinking right now. You're thinking, I barely make enough to survive as it is. How on earth can I invest? Well, if you feel you don't make enough, you have got to stop asking how to work more hours. Time is strictly limited. Instead, you must start asking how to become more valuable. Money flows to value. It's that simple. If you solve small problems, you earn small money. If you solve bigger problems for a lot of people, you earn massive money. You absolutely must increase your value in the marketplace.
Your income is just a direct reflection of your skills. By mastering high-demand, high-income skills, things like communication, sales, coding, or even content creation, you drastically increase your value. And listen, you don't need to go out and learn everything on this list. You just need to become exceptionally good at something valuable. Use your evenings, learn these skills, and slowly build multiple streams of income right alongside your main job. When you finally have more than one income source, I promise you, you stop feeling desperate and you start feeling genuinely secure.
And finally, Section 5, the unbreakable money system. Let's pull it all together. So, all of this knowledge we've discussed today, it is completely useless without a structured system. When you don't have a system, your money just becomes random. It becomes emotional, and honestly, it becomes messy. You need a dead simple rule to guide every single dollar that enters your hands. Earn, save, invest, repeat. To build this unbreakable system effectively, you must commit to 3 small daily habits starting today. Habit 1, choose discipline over temporary distraction. Habit 2, choose to invest rather than spend your cash on a liability just to impress others. And habit 3, choose long-term growth over short-term comfort. Your financial life isn't going to change in one huge, dramatic, movie-style moment. It changes through these 3 small, seemingly boring decisions repeated every single day.
And the reason these daily habits matter so much is because they allow you to harness the absolute magic of compounding. Compounding is where small amounts of money, invested regularly over time, grow into massive, life-changing wealth. It's like a snowball rolling down a mountain. The money game does not reward impatience. It rewards absolute discipline and stubborn consistency. You do not need to wait until you are rich to start investing. Even tiny, consistent investments will multiply and drastically alter your financial destiny over time. As your mentor today, I have to give you the harsh reality before we wrap up. Simply sitting here and absorbing this explainer is not going to change your bank account. Knowledge without action is completely useless. It's just trivia. So I leave you with a definitive choice as we end this session. Are you going to stay stuck on that wheel, continuing to run in the rat race and waiting around for the next paycheck just to survive? Or are you going to step off, take control, build your assets, and finally make your money work for you? The choice to own your future is entirely yours. Keep moving forward.
If you find value in this video, leave your comment below. Like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell to keep updated on the next video. Keep learning.